how to develop the mindset of a next generation entrepreneur. This video is for you if you are part of a startup, if you are a solopreneur, or if you are transitioning career, whether you recently got fired or whether you are unhappy in your current job and just looking for something different. My name is Laurent Zequinon, and I'm a coach and biohacker, and I'm supporting next-gen entrepreneurs, or basically all people that would like to be the change they want to see in the world. And speaking about the world, one characteristic today is that our world is much more interconnected, meaning that when something happens in one part of the world, it can have huge impact elsewhere. And so that's why we are talking about a VUCA world, which is more volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. And one of the consequences is that things are also changing much more faster. So to deal with it, to adapt, quickly, we need to have a much more global and systemic approach. That's what was described in this book from Robert Dills, Next Generation Entrepreneurs, dedicated to people who want to live their dreams and create a better world through their business. And just to quote Steve Jobs, Apple co-founder, the people who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are usually the ones who do. So if you're looking for more innovation, for more change, for more growth, then this video is really for you. One of the key questions that Robert Dills asked is that what's the difference that makes the difference between a successful venture and one that's not successful, actually. One of the key characteristics, actually, is that next-gen entrepreneurs are able to manage both their own self-development and fulfillment, which is called the ego, and on the other side they are contributing to something bigger than themselves, which they call the soul. And indeed, the 5 keys of a next generation entrepreneur is to develop oneself personally and spiritually, because you are the most important person in your life. And spiritually is key in a sense of that people now are willing to do something that makes sense. So they would like to contribute to society and to the environment as well. They are willing to support one's own and others' physical, emotional, and well-being. And by others, I mean their family, their kids, or their team members if they are in a leadership role. They are also sharing vision and resources with a community of peers to create new perspective, and they at the end are looking for building a successful and sustainable career or business. Robert Dills also created this model, which is called the SFM, Success Factor Modeling, which is a global approach of a project, of a venture. And once again, where the founder or the people are really at the center, because you are, again, the most important person in your life. But now, when you are looking to develop something that makes sense and that's impactful, you cannot do it alone. So you need to interact with many other people, and the model is really taking into account of all these stakeholders' broad things. So we will find there the customer, the market. If you want to, to sell some product or services, then you have to have customers. We can find also team members and employees, partners and alliances, and also investors, and what Robert calls stakeholder, who are here actually more people outside the venture, but still important, such as your spouse, your children, your family, your friends, etc. Because again, as a person, you need to balance all the aspects of your own life, not only the business, but also, you know, the more personal ones. One other differentiator was the mindset, and mindset has been intensively studied by Carol Dweck, who is an American psychologist, and she actually developed the concept of growth versus fixed mindsets, which can be monitored. And we actually noticed that for people who have a growth mindset, there is a greater brain activity as depicted in the picture here. So the people who have a growth mindset actually are much more keen to learn more, to develop themselves, to explore new things, to be open to new perspective. Where people were fixed mindset, you know, they are more, you know, driven by their own beliefs and not really open to change. And as we've seen before, in our VUCA world, being able to adapt to change is really critical. So just to summarize, if you would like to have different or better results in your life, you will have to take better actions. And what helps having better action is your mindset. So the mindset is basically how you think, and it's influenced by your, you know, personal history, personal education, your beliefs, your values, what makes you unique. And we can also have some influence, really important, of your internal state, actually how you feel, and it's based on your energy or your lifestyle, but also the way you deal with your emotions. That's where, you know, backing is really key and important for me. That's why I always include it in my in programs. And lastly, we have also the skills. It's what you know or what you can do. Because, for example, if you would like to set up an architect, become an architect, then you have to learn, you know, the skills dedicated to architecture. And so when Robert Dahl studied people who actually are successful entrepreneurs, such as Richard Branson from the Virgin Group, I mentioned Steve Jobs, Apple, Jeff Bezos, Amazon. We have also Howard Schultz from Starbucks, or Anita Roddick from the Body Shop, or even Mohamed Yunus, which developed microcredit in several African countries. Or people, we can also find Christoph Columbus, or, you know, maybe Noé. So different people that actually started, you know, ventures or big projects starting from nothing. And so then from that, Robert Dills, you know, find this picture is about mapping mindset, and actually he highlighted about 20 mindsets that are important to establish a big project or venture. So let's go a bit more into detail. So first, there are 5 meta objectives that are really needed for more coherence at the workplace or at the new gen entrepreneurship. It's personal satisfaction. Again, you are the most important person in your life. We have meaningful contributions. We would like to have products or services that are really helpful for humanity, that are really also respectful from the environment, etc. We also need innovation and resilience. Innovation to, you know, to come up with a new product, new services, and potentially target new markets. And resilience, because entrepreneurship is not, you know, an easy way. There are ups, but also downs, and we have to be able to bounce back when needed. And all successful entrepreneurs had challenging times, you know, but it's also really interesting to see how they bounce back. Actually, we have also financial robustness. That's a very important point, and also scalable growth. So in the way you are able to scale your business, you know, from time to time, to make it more and more successful and impactful. I mentioned 20 mindset, and actually they can be divided into three main categories. The meta mindset, which is related to the big picture of your life and business, the main foundations that are your passion, your vision, your mission, your ambition, and your role. So how you position yourself in your life and in a much bigger picture. Then we have the macro mindset that are related to discipline and lifestyle. So it's more your day-to-day habits. And then we can find how you manage your health and energy, but also how you can anticipate risk, or you can identify key opportunities, or you collect feedback from the main stakeholders that I mentioned earlier. And then we have the micro mindset, which is more related to current priorities and areas for development in your life. And indeed, when we talk about micro mindset, it's interesting to see it from three perspectives. I mean, for example, if I take into account the team maker, so your ability to build a team and to engage the team members, we can ask yourself if you enjoy it, if you are good at it, and if you are spending time doing it. If you can say yes to all these three questions, then probably you are a good team maker or great team maker. But if you miss 1, 2, or even the 3 points, then probably there are areas for improvement. And if you are part of a venture, maybe you would need to hire other employees that could be complementary of you and indeed express these types of mindset. So what I like with this concept of mindset map is that I can help you or drive you to assess your own mindset and see your own mindset map. So the result will be a bit like on the left, where you can see that some pictures, so each small picture is related to one mindset. When we see that these pictures are colored, that it means that his mindset is sufficiently expressed. But when it's not colored at all or partially colored, that it means that there are areas for improvement as well. You know that this is quite complex, and then this is a great opportunity for improvement of the long time. But when we want to be, efficient quite quickly, we work by priority, and we select one of the 5 key meta objectives that I mentioned previously. So personal satisfaction, meaningful contribution, innovation and resilience, financial robustness, and scalable growth. And on the example here, the goal was the financial robustness. And then you can see that some mindset will be much more important than the other for this specific objective. So this will help us to target and to focus more on what is really needed from you right now. So if you really want to reach your next level and assess your own mindset map and see how it connects to the success factor modeling of your own venture, then assessing the mindset map is really the next step for you. In practice, that's quite simple, and we make an appointment, and then we evaluate your different mindsets, meta, macro, and micro together. Then we also identify the meta objective, most important one for you right now. And then we can set up the necessary support. Can be training and coaching, can be also interim or time-sharing management if you are part of a startup. And then as a result, you will improve both your personal satisfaction and your business. So to gain vitality, agility, and productivity. And that's really, one of the key messages of what I call next entrepreneurship is to balance much more your own personal satisfaction, and the one from your employees, by the way, and your business. and to my knowledge, that's the best tool which really help doing this. So if you want to invest now in your personal and entrepreneurial development, feel free to reach out to me by email or via my website, and I will be more than happy to support you develop your business.